Hey, what's up? This is Reverend Mother LG Flores, otherwise they say Gian Flores, but also Lopez, and I got a bunch of other names. Anyway, this is something that the dead made sure to point out. This is future medicine. Here, possibly grave. Possibly grave right there. Possibly more grave, but I'm gonna be getting some golfing and doing my hockey practice, so, showing the progress, but I think I found evidence of spell work and curses, and again there was the fecal matter. Again, it's just the way it looks a little on the vindictive side, and again finding little tips. But does that look like fingerprints and toes? Yeah. And how was this created? Was there a dog here at one point? Again, get the lab going, but there's still the issue of again, again, just the issues of fire hazards and waiting for adult human services to come in and help clean. But I just know I need to soak the ground. But if I am correct that Eugene Obregon, as in who's the park named after, this medal winner, then that's Elena, as in Molly Marine, and this was the Bukaki Palace, and this possibly, let me see here. Again, this is the injured arm. I took a football hit. Alright, the one on the right, is that Eugene Obregon's handprint? Okay, the one on the middle, is that Mama Bear Elena? Okay, and the one on the left is Baby Bear. Okay. And that little boy's name was Miguel Michael. I think I found the label around here. Gotta look for it again. 3 o'clock. Alright. Now in this one, is this a dog? Who's buried here? Someone's buried here. Someone's buried there. Either way, so I'm trying to liven up things. But again, I was cleaning up the mess, trying to clear out the issues, and mind you, because again, how I had to store my stuff, it ended up killing the tree stump in this most wonderful way. And yes, there was mushrooms, but I didn't get to eat the mushrooms, so I don't know enough about mushrooms, but I'm sure they were tasty. But I ended up wetting this. Actually, I need to wet it some more. So again, it's dry. I don't like dry stuff because it's a fire hazard. But if I could create a pile, and I was noticing again the what you call the again, the way things were. And mind you, I did this, but I don't like this. I believe this is a lock, and from when I got the Comanchos, which was a bandit. Again, you got to know your story or your past to know that there was probably people strung up on this side. Again, the neighbors right here. Who knows what the situation was back in the day when this was all mission towns. But yes, you can see my my OCD here. But I turned these things upside down to where again it's just knowing architecture and all that. But again, even with an injury, I managed to move that. I managed to dig up a tree just because, again, I rotted the tree with moisture. I was trying to separate my piles, and I thought, well, wouldn't this be a fun little training camp for little children and old people to learn how to get, mobile again and again, having to cut off, the holes in the fences where if there is a camera on me, it's like, well, eventually there won't be any access to this area to where if the partitions do need to come up, it's like, come on, I've been telling you, fuckers. But while people are out here fixing the situation with Eugene's bodies, and pretty much, I'm told there's a bunch of bodies here. Hold on, let me switch arms. Let's see here. What you say of human life in the last 1900s? Is there over 100 people's bodies here? Okay. Was there any zoot suiters or... Oh, they're sailors, because the zoot suiters pretty much buried the Chicanos or the Yankee Doodles that, again, being accused of being whitewashed. So, interesting. Okay, now before the 1900s, as in the 1800s, were there also people buried here? Okay, and those were the Americans or the Mexicans? Okay, let me see. Was it U.S. troops that were buried here? No, U.S. troops in the Civil War and the Mexican-American War for Real Estate, or the Civil War on that one as well. They were killing... Okay, so the troops are here first. That's why the Zoot Suiters, or which were not exactly the best people. They ended up attacking those that were appropriated and forced to be American, to where it's like, which side are you on? And that's one of the reasons why Eugene Obregon was hated, because people didn't know he was helping out a light-skinned Latino or a Latino Trojan horse, where he put, neighborhood first, even though that guy was, I think, an officer. But again, it is what it is. But again, I know I moved things around a little bit, but if I am being surveilled, they could have caught me when they did find the things. But again, there was these cops that came and paramedics, and they were able to clear me, just saying, I told them if I go to the hospital, I'm going prepared, as in I'm taking my ID, my clothing, again, I'm wearing a swimsuit underneath, in case, I get put in a hospital, and again, I don't trust the orderlies, because the last orderly, because again, I didn't wear the right things, and I was taken out without a bra, and again, trying to not seem sexy with a bunch of guys, because mind you, the brown shirt chefs, got a little too excited when they see me, where they think I was a party girl, and again, it was just one of those, who knew who, and, who thought I was a playgirl, and again, it was just one of those, you guys are so going to hell if you're not there already, and again, it was just one of those fucking trying to explain that there's protocol when it comes to, when issues where I clean up a mess, but I'm being, again, passive-aggressive, where I'm being attacked, and yet I have to constantly have, documentation to where it's like, no, this is a personal vendetta now. Were against me, where again, it's a cheating wife coming at me, claiming that, again, she comes at me in a way where it's like, you sure you're not a guilty conscience? Because I remember you had a handyman boyfriend you told me about. But, if I'm being very aggressive about, I don't need no handyman, because I got attacked by one of the handymen just by showing how I chop, chorizo with an axe. He got excited and grabbed my breast. So I tried to run out after my mom doesn't let me put on my grandma's records, mind you, old people music, coming at me, mind you. I'm showing the tip-offs where the psychologist, again, couldn't give me a decent card, didn't give me a last name. I just got a first name and a number. Well, I could try it. But it's one of those, I'm reaching out for help, and it's one of those, I can't take every single offer for help, because again, I can't trust those in the system that are corrupting it. So it's one of those, step up or stop complaining about the system, because you're enabling it by not helping me trying to heal it. So it's one of those, do not start with me in a mood where at least let me play hockey, to where now it's one of those, hey, LA Kings, you're the only hockey team worth it for me in LA, because I don't play football, because I don't play with fucking football players that, are turncoats where they're LA one moment and then they take off. And I'm still upset with the Rams when I ordered as a little kid the free premium and I never got it. So it was like, and then they left LA. So it's like, screw your team then. I'll make my own football team. And it's one of those, no, I don't want to play in a fucking sexist, league. I want integrated. Because I did integrate, but I think the school coach was a pedophile, and who knows what the fuck else happened. But again, it's just one of those, I wanted to be the first female Marine Commandant, and it was princesses that didn't want me to be too much of a strong woman. Again, they were saying I was going to get raped in the service, but instead I get raped by the boys and being told boys will be boys, because again, it's one of those, the laws. Okay, and then being defamed to where people are going to be calling me a whore. It's like, whatever, until I get the money. Even then I get taxed, and then I legitimize it. Next. And again, it's one of those, if I really become a one-woman show, and actually literally open up the USO over here, if it's not, turkey in the hay, turkey in the straw. Yes, that's another joke. Nice segue. I'm getting too intense here. I need a fucking drink. Water. Tea. Not that kind of tea, but actual sleepy time tea with strawberries. Smoke. I know I got my freaking Jello. I gotta fix the apron handles on this one. But I mean, I took a bleeding hit, trying to bless, and mind you, this is the shit I'm finding. And this is what I'm finding around here. Again, it's one of those, what the fuck happened? Was there a fight? And again, did I stumble across things? And so here I am, the psychic, having these recalls because, again, I'm insensitive, I'm intuitive, I'm an empath. I forget. I made a note for myself, and again, trying to get people that are fast. And again, I'm just disorganized while I'm still breaking down the freaking game. And I had my keys with my zip tie thing, retractable lighter holder. And it's like fucking trying to find a lighter that stays put. Or my mom did have a lead crystal, beautiful piece. It was a beautiful lighter. It was a gorgeous piece. Oh my god, that thing was a paperweight. It was a weapon. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful, high quality HM piece. And where is it now? Dude. And I wet my damn cigarette, so. No, I guess got the golden ticket here. And number 6. 6 is, I forget what in numerology, but if we're thinking of the hearts, as in I'm more Queen of Hearts than Queen of Spades, but mind you, another screw. But again, it's one of those, don't marry service members if you don't know how to handle a service member. Do not represent a service member or their dependents if you're not going to do it or do it right. Again, just because you're all titled but no freaking follow through, it's like, yeah, I can see why people would want me. Instead of some other yahoo that was rich, that had servants, and it's like I was the servant and I got cheated out of workers' comp when I was exposed to E. coli. Oh, we need cancer this and research. Like, really? Because I'm doing cancer research right now, and I should have cancer, and yet healthy as fuck. I got cut in my middle finger. Again, I have pictures showing when I first got cut. And mind you, I kept pieces of the glass that cut me, so again, for forensics. And it was one of those, if I have bruises that don't clear up, if I have cuts that get infected, because mind you, I did a controlled infection where they believe this did get gangrene. Mind you, I have some nicks in here. It's like, there's a meme I saw where it shows a man's hands, where it says, you know, his hands look like this, and then they show the girl's, so her hands could look like this, and I'm like, okay, first of all, how do we know that's not a guy that's in drag? 2, why the hell do we need, again, a man with dirty hands and a princess with nails? And again, it was just one of those, you know, you could tell a lot about a woman based on her hands. And mind you, okay, if my hands are dirty, then don't eat, you know, my cooking. You know, but if it's one of those, hey, you know, who likes a girl that likes to get dirt under her nails? You know, who likes a girl that likes to get rough and tough, that can move things and move them fast? You know, who wants a girl that, again, what kind of girl? Is it a girl or is it like girl? Yeah. And again, it's just, you know, trying to convince my friends that I know are good people. It's like, you know, fuck the politics over there. Let's just come to East LA and fix it here. You know, and it's like, you know, I remember hospitality. I also remember cold shoulders. You know, I remember falsehoods, and also when I was cool first. So again, it's one of those, you declare war against me, well then I'm going to at least report it and let the judgment of society determine what's the right thing to do in a situation where, you know, politics are what they are, where I'm a pacifist. Unless struck, I don't strike back, and even then I like to find other ways to, like guilt tripping is really my method. Where I heard Jews invented guilt, but Catholics perfected it. And then I said, but then send in a burned single mom, and she could update it and extend it. You know? So it's one of those, if you have a burned single mom that's being burned by others, and it doesn't matter if they're male or female. Again, what the pedo is just like, you know, it doesn't matter if they're a woman or not, just don't burn people. Especially if they've been there for you. And again, there's documentation to where you could only plead insanity so much without having to prove it, to where it's like, you know, I'm trying to prove I'm not insane, but it's one of those pushed enough. I have been filmed, you know, going primal, to where it's one of those, at least I'm trying to be cordial and give the opportunity for someone to defend themselves. And even then, it's kind of funny, like, the symbolism and again, just, the way things could happen. Like, I believe the people who lived here, there were Austrian, German, American, Mexicans. And so when Hitler called on Germans, or, all the Alemanes, to go to Deutschland to fight as Germans, again, you had American brother fighting another American brother, or sister and sister. But it was one of those, a band of brothers explains it with this one guy, I believe, from Detroit, where, he's in a stormtrooper uniform, and, not that Star Wars, but I mean the black Nazi one. And then it was one of those, he says, again, somebody says something in English, and so he speaks in perfect English, and he's explaining, that Hitler called upon all Germans, and then why we have American Nazis. Again, people don't remember. Oktoberfest is really the only time a year a German can enjoy being a German, and it's sad that it's a party, just like Cinco de Mayo is really the only time, people could really be proud of Mexico. But it's like white people are celebrating when brown people killed white people, even though we lost the war. But it's like only I believe in Puebla is where the battle took place. And then we forget about the San Patricios, and it's like, dude, okay, if I gotta be the salty one freaking, breaking down the past, I mean, I hope to God I could have different edits where you have the one that's safe for little ones, and then you have the ones that are a little older, and then it's like, by all means, honey, like, you say it exactly how it comes out, and it's funny how it comes out at times. But I could tell you that I'm trying to stay busy, and because I did get busy, did I find issues? And then look at that. I mean, if I found possible handprints, again, it's one of those. Is it really Eugene Obregon, Elena Obregon, and their child Michael Obregon's handprints? And is it possible that their bodies are hung upside down in roll cages, as in tomato cages? Or maybe it could be something a little sturdier, and then again, in a very disrespectful, again, towards their body, because again, it's just the brown against the white, or the red against the white, and it's like, again, people don't know the past. And then we have this rich boy whose parents are with the Ku Klux Klan, and the Ku Klux Klans are Democratic. And then we got, Hitler's daughter, freaking, again, it's like, aren't they supposed to be pariahs? Because the husband was impeached for perjury, and yet they were allowed to show their face in Washington. So it's kind of like, yeah. But I mean, if people want to vote for someone that doesn't take vacations but needs them, someone willing to have an IV stuck in my Vine Better, a saline solution that's medicated, with a the shit bag, the plug, to where I don't stop to even take a dump. I don't stop to piss. I just need to be hooked up. And again, excuse me if I put my feet up, trying to elevate them so I don't get clots. And again, rotation, so I could work. And again, just excuse me for not being fashionable, so you could cut me up on the fashion police and be like, oh, she wore this, or oh, she's, again, it's like, if you care too much about shit, because again, people are gonna just tear up, just tear me up. People that, again, CVS or Save On, I requested some some pictures and a picture CD to be ordered. It didn't get produced, or they claim they didn't. They did. They lost it and lied to me. So I remember what the guy looks like. And the manager, again, who talked to me, and they put those pictures out on the dark web thinking I looked hot, but I didn't see a single cent of it. Again, this other pendejo I was dating, fucking whatever, but it's like he puts my picture sent just to him and nobody else on the wall of shame, and thinking he was being cute, because again, the politics of men, and thinking they're virile and hot and, tough. It's like, you're fucking pussies when it came to your heart. I fucking got so sick of your fucking whining that it was like, you're a cool old guy, but you're a fucking pendejo. I'm sorry. So what do? He does a love spell. He does a love spell. I've had more guys throw love spells at me than women throw curses. What does that tell you? And yet they try to make it a sexual thing, and then try to plate me as a bad mother that only gives a fuck about them because I guess their mommy didn't love them, or their daddy didn't love them, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the fuck, I don't care anymore. It's like, man up, or fucking get the fuck out of the way. It's like, you're wasting my time. You're wasting my energy. You went out of your way to persecute my children. To where it's like, dude, seriously, fuck off. No problem. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. I hacked it. No, but it was straight up one of those things that you're gonna get a lot of military service members that are injured. Again, listen to the song Helena by the Misfits. How do you know Helena wasn't a nurse that had to amputate soldiers? And again, it's taking that voice where, a service member that returns home cut up, maybe beaten up, missing parts